I can explain to you just how, how cunning the devil is, and one of the strategies that they actively have the audacity to still use against me. And it's weird because we've been here so many times, you know what I'm saying? I've exposed this situation so many times. I shed light on it so many times. I broke it down so many times. And, it's like, that's one of this concept of how they try to use, like, the here and now in order to discredit, what already happened. Or to try to disprove things that's already been proven. Or to, to undermine truth that I'm a personal eyewitness of, that I've seen happen to my life. And they not recognizing it and trying to overshadow it or overwrite it. And that's the situation that this is, just like now, for anybody who, everybody know by now, it's not much, of my private life that's not, public now because of the nature of the persecution I've been under. So most people know, everything, about my life now, which is confirmable as it has been. And, I've been, and everybody know, of course, my livelihoods and everything. And I've been attacked through those, and, it's just been a lot of it. And this situation is not just starting this month. You feel me? This is not just starting. The same thing was happening months ago. You feel me? Various places, Sometimes, I didn't have the problems that, It don't matter where I am, I'm being stoked, through my devices, there's a collusion between injustices and places and artists to commit murder, which they've already successfully gotten, completed and, performed hundreds of times already this year alone, in the same set of circumstances. You feel me? So, they've already tried, tons of times against my life wrongfully. It's so much that's been, accomplished. And see, the thing is with this new strategy is, right after they perceive to have, it's as if they have other people paying attention. It's like, okay, it's just like, for instance, say if somebody is always stealing apples from the market or something like that. And say somebody say the person who sells the apples, they like, hey, somebody this person keeps stealing my apples, but nobody never catch them or whatever. They're like, yeah, they keep stealing my apples. So say one time they get somebody involved, like somebody serious involved. They're like, oh, okay, we go watch and follow this person and see if they steal the apples. Well, say if that person also know about, you feel me, that this person gonna be involved. This, these people gonna be involved to watch them. You think they gonna steal the apples then? No, they're not going to steal the apples then. That's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But right after it's been shown, they be like, yeah, we've been watching this person or this entity or whatever, and they're not taking any apples. They haven't taken any apples, for weeks now. Or when we start paying attention to them, they haven't taken any apples. So we're gonna not pay attention to them no more. And then that's the very moment, right after they drop their attention, then that's when this person, quote unquote, inadvertently, implicitly, proves, quote unquote, that they don't steal apples. You feel me? And then, after that, then they that's the very same day, an hour later, that they steal an apple. So what does the owner of the market do at that point? There ain't nothing they can do. And that's what's happening right now, in terms of livelihood, this terroristic attack on it. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, they disprove or they quote unquote try to disprove me, then that same moment, they make an attempt on my life real quick. And then, what I'm saying, that's what's happening. I just, right after, that's what's happening. They got people who are also involved in the situation chasing their tail. You feel me? People already know they're involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to help you find justice for something that they was involved in. It's like, the world, it's like society doing everything in its power not to perform justice. It's doing everything to go around the culprits and stuff like that. It's impossible to perform, you know what I'm saying? It's impossible to have justice of a murder without prosecuting the murderer. That's impossible. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. How can you, if you got somebody with a knife in a body and you walk up on them, you feel me? It's impossible to go, you know what I'm saying, to have justice for that crime without arresting the one that had the knife in their hand in the body, for instance. You know what I'm saying? That's the situation. It's like they do everything they can to not perform justice against the guilty. And even to the point they trying to invalidate my testimonies, de-emphasize my testimonies and disprove it, knowing that they're directly calling God a liar. For as long as they try to do this for any reason. And that's the situation, So yeah, man, it's still going on, you know what I mean? Some people just real good at hiding it, you know, and it's a cover-up. It's a real cover-up, man. And so my life remained in danger, and the tax still remained on it to the same fashion. Or they misrepresented as being, like it's like false flag. Feel me? Kind of, or it's kind of like, it's things being it's like it misrepresents stuff as being things that it's not. You feel me? In order to get away with it. That's what's happening in my life. And what I mean? I'm aware of the sensitivity of terms and stuff, man. All I know is grass is green. Feel me? This is the life I know. Now, people say it wasn't supposed to happen and all that. Well, that's an error on their hands that they got to fix, correct, and pursue justice for. But I mean, me as a civilian, that's not my fault or my problem. I just know what I've been through. Feel me? And as an artist. And this stuff is continuously allowed in order to like graft me and glue me to these realities that they can discement me with. You see what's happening, don't you? That's like letting a bully beat on a child, you know what I'm saying, like 24/7, 365 every year, and force that child to do normal things like every other child, while also, giving immunity for, bullies to just beat on this child for no reason. You feel me? Like all day and night. Follow them home or school, wherever they go, stores, everywhere they go, just beating on it, just beating on the child forever. And then, nobody doing nothing about it, but just watching it. And then, acting like the child's supposed to just keep living. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Everybody looking at the child like, keep living. And that's the situation. It's like they just keep beating on the child and then get mad at the child for not being the best that it could be. Or discredit or cringe at the child for not reaching the altitude of success that it could possibly have reached. You feel me? That's the situation. Like they just let bullies just beat on the child 24/7, 365 from birth all the way to death. You feel me? And then antagonize the child. You know what I'm saying? For grass being green. Like, well, this person is beating on me. Now everybody see, but somehow the antagonism still on the child, in spite of the child being blameless and just getting bullied. That's the kind of country we live in. Then they flare up all this other stuff in order to normalize this situation. Because this situation is something that's of larger proportions, for which they have no resolution for. But that's the situation. So I mean, so that strategy of trying to use the present to discredit the past is still happening. You feel me? It's impossible. I mean, it's been happening the whole time. Every single year from 2014 all the way to this year. Every single year. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same situation. And I'm a personal witness of the things I've gone through. That's all I know, man. Like, I mean, I know this stuff's still happening. I'm just talking to a brick wall because most people that listen to it involved in it. So, I mean, it's like they intentionally made it impossible for the ministry of God to be complete. So God gonna make it impossible for the life of society to continue.